Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mobile App Academy. This is our live building series where we show you how to build and configure mobile apps on the Now platform. My name is David Ha, and I'm an outbound product manager here at ServiceNow, and I'll be your host for today's session. I also have Ian Kinnear here today from the mobile team from ServiceNow as well, and we want to give a warm welcome to everyone joining us live here today. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome to the session. We have product experts here to provide guidance, best practices, and answer any questions that come up along the way. And we do host these academies every 2 weeks at 10 a.m. Pacific, in which we'll upload the recordings to YouTube on the ServiceNow community channel. Before we get started, just want to point out a few resources that we have available. If you are new to mobile, we recommend you check out some of our self-enablement resources, such as our mobile guidebooks and white papers that you have on the mobile community site. There are some new articles that we've released in the past couple of weeks, so definitely check those out. But we also have a plethora of other resources, such as labs, mobile trainings on Now Learning, as well as our playlist to all the previous mobile app academies. Additionally, if you like sessions like these, our ServiceNow teams also host academies from HR service delivery to platform foundation, platform analytics, virtual agent, and many others. And you can find these series in their respective community forums by navigating to the forum tabs. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started with today's topic. We're going to show you how to configure your actionable icons on your launcher screens so that your users can get access to actions that are much more discoverable and have quick access to their most commonly used functions directly on their landing pages. Just to quickly review for today's schedule, this will be a quick 30-minute session. We'll start it off with a quick 10-minute overview on what actionable icons are and what you can do with it. Then we'll jump into a 20-minute walkthrough, and then we'll wrap it up with some Q&A. But with all of that said, let's quickly dive into a quick overview. So, actionable icons. This is a feature that we released in Rome that enhances your icon sections. So previously with icon sections, you can display icons on your UI sections, right? These are UI sections, so that you can navigate to different screens like a list, a map, or maybe even a URL screen. But we released an enhancement in Rome that will now allow you to navigate to another launcher screen or to be able to launch a function directly from that icon. Right. So if I put an icon here, you can actually navigate to different tabs. So instead of the users clicking on tabs, it can take them directly to a different landing page experience. Or you can have it, be a native action. If you want to create an icon to launch virtual agent, that's totally possible. Create a new record. All that is possible through icon sections in Rome. Okay. Something that is important to call out. This capability is only available for new icon sections that you've created on a Rome instance or beyond. And so likely if you are using an out-of-the-box app, it's likely that you are using one of the legacy icon sections. But to be able to use this new capability, you'll have to create a new icon section and then migrate some of your screens over, which is all very quick and easy to do. So let me go ahead and show you how to do this now. But the use case for today is we're going to be working inside of the My Work launcher screen for the field service mobile agent app. We're going to make our quick actions a bit more discoverable, and we're going to create a new icon section and move all of our pre-existing quick actions over to this new icon section. So that's the first use case. The second use case is I'm also going to create some icon sections that will navigate to other landing pages within my field service app. And this is going to be helpful if you're managing many different launcher screens and you're trying to consolidate these experiences into a single landing page so that your agent has quick access to everything that they need on a single screen. So think of like the Uber app, for example, right? If you launch into that app, you can go to Uber Eats, you can go to Uber Rides. All of that is done on a single screen, and that's a capability that can be done on our apps as well. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to share a new screen and share my instance. Okay, so you should be able to see my instance now. Let me zoom in here so that you can see it a little bit better. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to convert some of these quick actions, right? At the top right, you see this a little ellipsis. We've heard from many customers that these actions at the top right aren't as discoverable, and they're worried that these actions might get missed anytime they're onboarding new users onto this new app. And so they actually want to take some of these actions and put them directly on their launcher screens, so that they're very apparent, easy to see, and easy to tap onto. Less taps too, right? So let's go ahead and migrate these 3 existing ones and then put it into an icon section. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to show you what a legacy icon section will look like. And I'll show you how you won't actually be able to see this capability unless you create a new one. So I'm going to launch into Mobile App Builder. And I'm also going to show you something on platform so that you can easily identify whether you're using an old one or a new one. Okay. I'm going to jump into the field service mobile scope. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look up whatever this launcher screen is. And this launcher screen is called My Work in the field service mobile app. So I'm just going to look up My Work. And there it is. We'll jump into it. Okay. And then immediately on this launcher screen, if we scroll down, you'll see the launcher sections, which are all the different UI sections that are attached to this launcher section, right? I have one media section, one icon section, a vertical icon section, and then just a list screen. So you can see those are the 4 here. Let's say that, this is a pre-existing icon section. It's a legacy one. It was built out of the box by the field service team. If you were to try to add an action to this icon section, let me show you what will happen. So I'm going to open up My Work, which is this UI section here. If you scroll down, all you see is the ability to add screens like list, maps, URLs, and so forth, right? But there's really no ability to add functions here. And you can see at the top here, it says legacy icon section. So this is your indicator that you are using the legacy one, right? Now, if we were to go back to my launcher screen and create a new UI section, right? I'm gonna go to launcher section and create a new one. I'm gonna select icon, click continue. Let's go ahead and name this. This will give me access to all of my actions. So let's call it, we'll call it quick actions. And then it can be a horizontal, that's fine. And then it's gonna ask me, what are, these are the launchers and screens that the user goes to, or the functions that can be executed. So this is where I can set my destinations now. I'm gonna create a new destination, and it's gonna give you 3 options. Instead of just screens, the enhancement in Roam gives you access to be able to launch into another launcher screen or a function. So let's go ahead and create a function destination. I want it to be able to pull up Launch Connect, to be able to, for my agent to go off shift, and then for my agent to be able to go on break. So let's do this first one here for Launch Connect. We'll call it Launch Connect. The function should also be called Launch Connect. We're just pulling this pre-existing function that already lives on my instance. Launch Connect. Oh, maybe they called it something else. There it is, says called Connect. And then I can give it an icon. I'm gonna choose a pre-existing one. I'm sure there's like a chat icon in here somewhere. We'll just scroll down and see what's available. Comments, we'll use this one. Okay. And then we'll save. So what's gonna happen here if I refresh? I should now be able to see my first quick action. Okay, and I can launch into it by directly tapping into it. And there it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and migrate these other 2 as well. So I'm just going to go back to my launcher screen. and then create two more. Or go into my quick action. Let's set the order of this to, let's do 10 so that it's below my media section because it looks kind of wonky right now. And then we'll save. There we go. So now I have quick actions underneath the banner. So now let's go back into my quick actions and create two more. And create the function. We can name this, what is the action called? Off shift. Function off shift. Now, when they associated these functions to the quick action, these are actually, the name of this is pulling off the title column. And so if I were to look up off shift, you won't actually see the exact naming. You actually want the name of the function in which the field service team built. And it looks like they called their action item agent off shift. Okay. If you ever want to double check what the function is, I would just go into the quick actions and see what that function is called. So you can either do it inside a mobile app builder or on platform. I can do it real fast on platform. I'll just look up launcher screen. And I know that this is a quick actions that lives on the My Work launcher screen. My Work for field service. And then the quick actions, off shift, let's open this up and see what function is associated to this. Quick action button. And you can see the function name here. Okay, so that's how you figure out what the name of the functions are if you're not quite sure. And then let's give this an icon. We'll give it an agent icon. Let's see if I can find another one. Agent status, perfect. Okay, and then we'll save. So now if I do a refresh on my mobile app, I should be able to see that second one as well. And this will, one tap and immediately the action gets executed. This is a native action. Okay. I think this is a smart button that they built. And so that's why it takes you to a web screen. And then let's migrate over our last one for on break. We'll go back to my launcher screen, jump into our quick actions launchers section, and then create another destination for a function. And then we'll name this one on break. And then choose that pre-existing function. Which hopefully is called on break. Perfect. And then we'll select the icon and save. And now I've quickly migrated over all of my, whoops, what's going on here? Let's give them an order so maybe that they're not competing with each other. So let's do 10, 20, and 30, and then save. That is quite funny. Let's do a hard close and reopen. Oh, you know why? It's because my status is because I launched executed the action earlier. The agent is currently on break, and so you won't see those actions again. I believe there was a condition that was applied to these functions that it will hide those actions if the agent is already on break. You can't execute that action twice. So let me go and actually go back on shift. And then now you should be able to see those functions. There it is. Okay. So that just means my condition on that function is working properly. Okay. All right. So that is how you can associate your quick actions on the icon sections. The same steps are applied if you want to launch into different screen launchers. So let's say that I also want to be able to create an icon section that takes me into inventory, articles, and my team, right? It's going to be the same steps, but I'll show you a quick example. And again, this is going to be helpful for mobile experiences in which you have, maybe dozens of tabs, and you're really trying to consolidate this all into a single screen. One quick place where they can navigate to everything that this specific agent needs. Okay, so let's go back to our launcher screen and create another icon section. Something that I do want to mention is as you upgrade to San Diego and beyond, we also release an enhancement that allows you to control your rows and columns on these sections. And so if you wanted 8 icons, 4x2, you have more control over your rows and columns instead of just having a vertical and just a horizontal one. And so as we move over to San Diego, you'll have better flexibility on how you want these icons to be displayed. Okay. So let's go and create a new launcher section here. And this will also be icon. And we'll call this one, let's call this agent agent, I don't know, experiences. I'll come up with another name if I can think of something better. Ian, what do you think? If you can think of a better title to navigate to different screen launchers.
Let's go for that for now.
Okay. If you can think of something better, let me know. We'll create another icon section. And this time we're going to navigate into a launcher instead of a function. So let's create that. And then let's say that we want to be able to pull over inventory. So we'll call this inventory. We'll select the inventory launcher and then give this an icon. Okay, so now if I refresh, let's apply an order so that it goes below the banner. Let's give this one an order of 1. And then refresh. Okay, so now if I were to tap into this, it'll directly navigate me to that launcher experience. Okay, I don't have to tap on the tab to go there. So if I want to hide, if I only want one single tab and still be able to navigate to these 3, I can hide the rest of these, right? So let me go ahead and configure the rest of these real quick and show you what that experience could look like. So we'll go back into agent experiences and then also create 2 more launchers. This one will be for article. And then we'll create 1 more for my team. Oh, I just realized this. Oops. Let's go back to that. My team is actually a ITSM. Oh, never mind. Wait, let's do that again. Let's create a new destination. Launcher. my team. Okay, so yeah, this is not even relevant. So I'm gonna take this off completely because this lives on the IT subscript, and I don't care about that one. So let's see if there's another one that I can pull in. Um, let's say that I wanted to pull in catalog services. This is from the Now mobile app, but again, we definitely get questions where folks will ask us, is it possible to consolidate experiences between the Now mobile app into the Asian app? And the answer to that is definitely you can do that. If 90% of your use cases live on the Asian app and you just want to pull in a few experiences from the Now mobile app, that is totally possible. And I'll show you this in an example now. I'm going to pull over the catalog item workflow and just put it directly into this icon section. Okay. So now this agent gets access to your KBs as well as your inventory, and then also be able to order catalog items if they wanted to. And then we'll give it an icon for service. And then save. So now if I refresh, I'm now able to access any one of these landing pages on a single screen. Right. So this takes me to my catalog, and I can order one of these services. Okay. Or I can go to inventory and be able to do that as well. And then, if this is the approach that you want to go at it, then you can, hide these tabs, right? So now we only have one tab that we're working inside of. So I can go back to, I'm going to go to home. Let's make sure we save our work. I don't think I need to save anything. It's fine. So now we'll go to our mobile app configs because we want to be able to configure our navigation tabs. We'll go inside of agent. Give it a second to load. When you open up the mobile app configs, it basically tries to load everything. That's why we don't typically recommend starting from the very top. If you know exactly what you want to configure, whether it's a screen, a function, then just go directly there. So we'll go to our navigation bar, and then we'll disable, we'll make sure we're configuring in the right scope, and then disable inventory here. We'll take off that tab. And then we'll also take off the My Team tab, since that's not relevant to me at all. My Team. And then we'll take off the Articles tab. That's a lot of articles. Okay, maybe it's faster if I just scroll down. There it is. Okay, and then we'll save. And I think if I do a refresh, I'll have to do a hard close to get those articles refreshed, or the tabs to refresh. Oh, what does that say? Internal, unable to delete record, security restraints. There's an ACL that's preventing me from doing this. Well, let's try that again. What did not work? Let's get rid of inventory and then try to save that. So mobile app builder doesn't like this. I'm going to try to bypass that and just go do this on platform. I'm just going to look up launcher screens. No, actually client navigation bar. The agent now navigation bar. And then from here, I can also delete it. So we'll get rid of this. articles. And then my team. Okay, so now if we refresh, you can see those are hidden now. Maybe I deleted the wrong one for this one. Let's find the other my team. Looks like there's one more. If I get rid of that.
David, that one looks like it was a part of Field Service Mobile.
Oh, so it was part of Field Service. Okay. Well, looks like we were able to get rid of all of those though. I'm not sure why this is called my team. Let's go back into mobile app builder and make sure that we named it properly. We'll go back to our launcher screens for my work. And then rename this to services. Oh yeah, looks like we accidentally named this to my team. Let's actually name this service catalog. There we go. Okay. And of course I can also update these icons and their colors, but we can probably skip that. But that wraps up what I wanted to show for today. Let's go ahead and take a few questions here. Ian, are there any questions we want to highlight?
Sure. Yeah, we had one question about adding the company logo to the top left of the screen. And I did answer that one in text as well, but just in case anyone missed that, we cannot currently add an icon to the top left of the mobile screen. But if you look at David's mobile screen right now, he's got a media section with an image for Field Service Mobile. So that's a great place that you can, throw up a company imagery and, with a description that will display right there on your home tab. That's what I would recommend for that.
Awesome. And there's also other, we have a dedicated mobile academy that shows you all the different things that you can do in this banner section. Not only can you use a media section, but we also offer the capability to create campaigns. So, if you have announcements or anything related that you want to promote, that is another capability. And it can be a scrolling carousel too. So if you have multiple ads or promotions or announcements, users can scroll between each one. Okay. Any other questions before we wrap up for today?
I just want to piggyback on that while there isn't a way to necessarily have an icon in the upper, a persistent icon in the upper corner, with mobile publishing, you can set the icon for the launcher application, for the app on the phone, and the splash screen to be branded, and you can set the theming colors to match those of your organization.
Yeah, and just to clarify, by that icon, I think Charity, you mean this icon here, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yep. And that is a premium license that for mobile publishing, if that's the route that you want to go down. So if you want more information on that, definitely follow up with your account teams. Looks like we have another question from Paul. This campaign is available for all mobile agents. How to remove the demo account link from the app. So if you're, Paul, if you're asking about this button here, try with a demo account. I'm assuming that's what it is. Is there an ability to remove this? Ian, I don't think there is. That's not
Unfortunately, I'm not aware of any way to remove that.
Yeah, that's unfortunately is not a supported configuration. However, we do recommend, if that is something that is important, definitely let us know on the idea portal on mobile community. That way our internal teams can kind of follow up on that. And definitely let us know like why, what is the use case around it? Okay.
Another question. Sorry, David.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to mention that there was another question in the Q&A about help around the loading performance of catalog items. So those are going to take a little longer to come up because they are rendered using web views inside of browser screens in the mobile app. So, that's something where there's a lot more involved than just the native mobile app. So I definitely encourage you to, check out the performance even outside of mobile, just, browsing to that same page, on your browser, and then taking a look at, what's going on in the instance if the catalog item has, a lot of variables on it, or scripts that are running, and so on, and taking a look at optimizing the performance. Another one is if you have an image on that catalog item that's large, that needs to load, sometimes having a smaller image in file size is possible without reducing the quality noticeably. So a couple other things to check there.
And then Brett, I would definitely follow up with the Now Mobile team too, to kind of get a roadmap session around some of the upcoming updates to Employee Center, because I think that's kind of where ServiceNow is moving forward with a consolidated employee experiences. I think they're moving away from the service portal and moving on to this new product called the Employee Center, which is more of a better self-service experience for employees. And with that roadmap overview, you'll kind of get an understanding of how they're updating their experiences for service catalogs or KBs, and how you have more control on that in the future.
There's another question on if you can use update sets to capture your mobile development, and you can. From a training perspective, that's actually how we build out the training. So you can export update sets of where you are in the development process. If you want to save it or move your build from a development instance to a production instance, you can export those, their applications. So you can export the actual entire application that you create, or existing applications that you've modified, and then import them as update sets into another instance.
I also think we have an article, if you go to mobile community and click on Essential Training, I think there is a video on this somewhere. Yeah, so publish your application to an update set. If you click on this link, there is a video that shows you, as well as I think there's an article as well. Find out more. Okay. So
one of the things I often, sorry, David, but just to add, one of the things that I often do that helps me is I will update in a separate tab on the platform UI, sys_update_XML. So the XML updates table. And that way I can kind of track, like make a filtered list with my user ID. And track what updates I've done across all applications and update sets as I'm working. One of the things that happens sometimes with mobile, especially if you're working on like a launcher screen that brings together things from different scopes, is you can jump around, you can need to jump around between different scopes a fair bit, just depending on what you're doing. So that kind of just helps me to understand what changes that I've made, so I make sure all my update sets that I need to capture are noted.
Awesome. Cool. Any other questions? Otherwise, we can go and wrap up. Thanks everyone for joining us today. If you found this session helpful, please let us know in our post-session survey. There's going to be a quick couple questions that just ask you what topics you'd like us to explore further in the future. If update sets, for example, is something you want us to dive deeper into, let us know in that survey. But if there's other topics, then also let us know. If you're interested in any of our past mobile app academies, we do record these and then we upload them to YouTube. And we also post them on the mobile community site. So make sure you register and subscribe. so that you can get notifications on all the latest updates. But with all of that said, thank you all for joining us this week, and we hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone.